In a dimension not quite parallel to our own, Topiary Clown, Crossdresser Strawman, Finicky Panda, Chatty Quantum Professor, and Whiny Rhymy Tumbleweed find themselves in a world constructed from the whims of imagination itself. This dreamscape, a ghost town populated by tangible echoes of lost afternoons, now serves as the setting for their peculiar quest. Each step on its cobblestone streets echoes with the soft whispers of time, which linger and fade like the distant chime of teacups. Topiary Clown has trimmed himself to perfection, his foliage neatly clipped into fanciful curves and spirals. Crossdresser Strawman adjusts the lace of his sunflower hat, his scarecrow frame oddly graceful. Finicky Panda scrutinizes the scene, always conscious of cleanliness. Chatty Quantum Professor spins on his heel, his eyes sparkling with theories about their surreal surroundings. Lastly, Whiny Rhymy Tumbleweed bounces along beside them, muttering rhyming complaints. We find ourselves in quite the dream spell, should I say, the clown remarks. Yes, indeed, Crossdresser Strawman replies, twirling his sunflower hat's brim. We need a plan to secure what we need for our tea. Ahead, they catch sight of an ice cream trolley rolling down the street, an invitation in its gaiety. The trolley is driven by ELLIS the ELVES lookalike, who croons, "Would you care for a frosty delight? It's the taste that's just right." Finicky Panda sniffs the air. Is it all sanitary? I need to be sure. ELLIS swivels his hips. Rest assured, fuzzy friend, it's cleaner than a trend. Chatty Quantum Professor mutters calculations under his breath. The probability spectrum indicates this sample excels in multidimensional cleanliness. Finicky Panda nods, feeling somewhat reassured, and the group grabs several scoops of ice cream flavored with hints of alien fruits. Moving on, they come across a candy kiosk, a brightly colored confectionery daydream. However, a stalking storm cloud looms overhead, its rumbling dampening the atmosphere. Whiny Rhymy Tumbleweed groans, why must clouds always follow, making every path so hollow? Finicky Panda mutters, this cloud's gloom may taint the candy. Suddenly, a fashionable wizard pops up, draped in a galaxy-patterned robe. Fret not, fine friends. This thunder brings delight, not blight. The gumdrops here are enchanted, they'll make your taste buds alight. With a flourish, the storm cloud dissipates, and the group picks an assortment of jeweled candies from the kiosk. Crossdresser Strawman places an emerald-hued gumdrop delicately into a dainty handbag. Our next item, the dessert gazebo, announces Topiary Clown. As they journey further, the team encounters the mini library of tea times. A gossipy cat perched atop a stack of books meows, looking for tales of times past. The best are here with stories that last. Chatty Quantum Professor starts flipping through books, narrating any facts he finds amusing. But it's the gossipy cat's insider knowledge that yields the most delightful stories, the origins of the Duchess tea cake, the time a scone saved a village, and more curiosities. Knowledge shall surely magnify our experience, muses Topiary Clown. Beyond the library lies an antique shelf of perfumes, with scents designed to evoke memories of long-lost teas. Beside it, a pranky elf materializes with a mischievous grin. Planning a fancy tea, are we? How about a spritz of nostalgia, free of charge? Finicky Panda warily selects a bamboo scent, spraying it delicately. Topiary Clown snatches a muguet fragrance, while Whiny Rhymy Tumbleweed unintentionally triggers a lemony spritz. Achoo! Now I smell of zest, I protest. He rhymes, somewhat indignantly. Next, the team visits an outlandish hat shop. There, Professor of Paradox, taller than any standard human, garbed in top hats stacked 10 high, appears. A hat's what you need, indeed, indeed. Crossdresser Strawman picks a feathered number, while the others go for less extravagant selections. Professor of Paradox's verbal musings echo as they leave. May these hats grant joy beyond measure, more than just a simple pleasure. They stumble upon a floating closet of tablecloths next, each cloth drifting as if suspended by invisible currents. As they inspect the linens, a blushing robot named Blip greets them. Blip awkwardly stammers, how can I assist? Tea, tablecloths? They select a lace-trimmed cloth that glimmers as though woven from stardust, eliciting a pleased beep from Blip. Go, good choice. Finally, they arrive at the Tea Time TOGS Tower. In its storied corridors, they find attire suitable for their impending feast. Gossamer gowns and regal tuxedos await, along with bow ties that twirl on command and shoes that shine perpetually. Feeling dapper and appropriately attired, the quintet makes their way toward the intergalactic vegetarian villa. Along the way, they encounter a verbose tea table, which opens its drawer and proclaims, "I contain rare and curious teas that have traversed many galaxies. Take heed, friends, the best awaits thee." With a final flourish, they arrive to their tea setting, spinning trays of smoothies, desserts neatly arranged in tiers, drift around an elegant table. The colossal moons orbiting above cast a dreamy luminescence upon the scene. As each member takes a seat, they assemble their items: ice cream sweets, enchanted gumdrops, storied perfumes, fantastical hats, ethereal tablecloths, and beverages from the verbose tea table. Chatty Quantum Professor raises a cup to our wondrous journey through a vibrant dream. Whiny RHYMY Tumbleweed sighs contentedly, for once without complaint. Our tea, a true respite, feels just right. The Dreamtime Tea Adventure. The scene has set itself in the whimsical land of strolling puzzles, where puzzles and riddles roam freely like curious creatures, following our characters. The Topiary Clown, Crossdresser Strawman, Finicky Panda, Chatty Quantum Professor, and Whiny RHYMY Tumbleweed have all come together in this magical land. They find themselves drawn to gathering items for an opulent afternoon tea. The Topiary Clown, who prances around with the elegance of a gardener's masterpiece, has found himself a pair of gigantic scissors from the nearby antique shelf of perfumes. "I have trimmed the azaleas," he announces proudly, brandishing the tools as though they're royal scepters. The Crossdresser Strawman, meanwhile, has discovered a sunny corner of the outlandish hat shop. "I have tried every hat," he declares, donning an oversized bonnet with fake daisies. "None match my flair, but this will do." "I have selected only the finest bamboo," declares the finicky panda, approaching them with a basket, his nose wrinkling at the sight of Topiary Clown's choice of scissors, "and I remain unsatisfied with your choices." His comments have no effect, of course, as they have no time for fussing when tea awaits. The Chatty Quantum Professor, who spends an unnecessarily long time explaining the phenomenon of quantum entanglement to a bustling crowd of invisible particles, finally gathers a perplexing assortment of items. "I have revealed the secrets of the universe," he says, presenting a set of floating sugar cubes. "The sugar here defies gravity," he adds, quite plausibly. Whiny RHYMY Tumbleweed is less thrilled. "I have rolled through the dust, and it's been a must," he grumbles. "Why did I have to agree? This is not for me." Their first stop is the enchanted ice cream trolley. The tumbleweed riddles with a sigh, "I want a creamy delight," to soothe this plight. The ice cream scoops float, morphing flavors between honey lavender and chocolate volcano, and land daintily in a sparkling bowl. Everyone samples, pleased with the otherworldly taste. Next, they encounter the candy kiosk, where every sweet has a mind of its own. The finicky panda picks a bamboo baton, and it twists into a question mark. "I have found the sweet that asks a question," he remarks. The Topiary Clown snags a gumdrop that dances, clearly in need of a partner. The dessert gazebo presents itself as next. Whiny RHYMY Tumbleweed finds a cake that sings. Alas, fate so great, it croons along, much to his delight. "I have found a cake that voices my ache." The Chatty Quantum Professor, refraining from another lecture on subatomic particles, chooses a meringue, which bubbles like a cauldron. Their journey leads them to the intergalactic vegetarian villa, and the characters are greeted with more than a variety of cosmic greens, plants that dream and rootless mushrooms. "I have chosen a vegetable that glows, though no one knows," remarks the Topiary Clown, who's thoroughly entertained. The Crossdresser Strawman selects a star-shaped zucchini, clearly extravagant. Tea Time TOGS Tower stands mighty in the distance, a structure imbued with haute couture and layered cakes. Strawman lingers over every ruffle and sequin, while the panda simply rolls his eyes at the outrageousness of it all. "I have found my dress," the Strawman finally asserts, "a gown fit for nothing less." The floating closet of tablecloths becomes their next fascination. Tablecloths swim through the air like iridescent fish. "I have caught a cloth," the Chatty Quantum Professor says, holding an undulating aqua fabric. Its patterns correlate to Schrodinger's cat. His logic is, as always, baffling but accepted. Suddenly, they approach a spinning tray of smoothies. Whiny RHYMY Tumbleweed complains, "Why can't they stand still, exerting such will?" But the panda sips on a bamboo blend, which makes the complaint tolerable. The mini library of Tea Times captivates everyone, showcasing recipes and illustrated guides. Every corner of the tower radiates culinary expertise. "I have found the book that tells the story," says the Topiary Clown, envisioning a grand finale. Leafing through volumes, the crossdresser strawman unexpectedly encounters a guide on how to blend floral arrangements with pastries. I have found true inspiration, he announces. Their rather absurd procession now complete, they begin to sense peculiar presences around them. A GABBY toy rattles out greetings rapidly. Welcome, welcome. Have you found your confections, or are you still lost in reflections? A stalking storm cloud hovers overhead, urging them along. Hurry, hurry, the tea will be flurry. It pushes them gently toward the cosmic tea table that brims with expectation. A verbose tea table roars, I have been waiting, for I am orating. And it commences a grandiose lecture on the history of fine teas, barely pausing for breath. Amidst the chatter, pranky elves sneak in, swapping sugar bowls for salt, mimicking the mischievous charm that fills perpetually roaming puzzles. The topiary clown, always on guard, remains unperturbed. Gathered now, the outlandish group finally sits, lifting cups in unison. We have conquered the dream, a miraculous theme, whiny rhymy tumbleweed concludes. Moments into their feast, an eccentric wizard apparates. I have seen you succeed, a quest complete. He chirps, magic sparking around him, creating a light drizzle of multicolored confetti. So, a surreal tea party goes on in the dreamscape, where a finicky panda laments over imperfections, but leaves none unfinished. A chatty quantum professor weaves atomic tales, a topiary clown trims cake with scissors, a crossdresser strawman flaunts in a dazzling hat and gown, and whiny rhymy tumbleweed rhymes complaints. The curious case of the afternoon tea in limbo. In what seems like seconds, topiary clown, crossdresser strawman, finicky panda, chatty quantum professor, and whiny rhymy tumbleweed find themselves standing at the threshold of a bizarre and ethereal land known as limbo. The sky above them swirls in a kaleidoscope of ever-changing colors, and the ground beneath their feet shifts inconsistently between cobblestones and fluffy clouds. Where are we? Asks finicky panda, clearly not pleased with the unstable terrain. We have arrived in limbo, explains chatty quantum professor, employing his profound knowledge in a remarkably matter-of-fact manner. Between this place and the next, somewhere in between reality and imagination. I see an ice cream trolley over there, exclaims topiary clown, pointing towards a gleaming silver cart station beside a floating cotton candy tree. And a candy kiosk, notes crossdresser strawman, his attire flamboyant and glittering as he steps towards a candy-striped booth brimming with confections of every kind. Smoothies for all, on a spinning tray, pipes up whiny rhymy tumbleweed, his leaves rustling with excitement. They have barely set foot in this unusual setting when a peculiar character approaches them, a blushing robot with red lips and shy eyes. I can assist you, says the blushing robot, offering them a tray of colorful umbrellas. What are these for? Finicky panda inquires suspiciously. Magic umbrellas, answers the blushing robot. They enable flight. You can gather the items for your fancy afternoon tea. One by one, they accept the umbrellas, which open with a subtle whoosh. In no time, they drift smoothly into the air. I spot a dessert gazebo, hollers topiary clown, his green, hedgy body leaning towards a pavilion where exotic desserts glisten under a golden dome. A land of floating closets of tablecloths, adds crossdresser strawman, his eyes widening at the assortment of intricate linens swirling in midair. Within moments, the finicky assemblage hovers before an ornate tower labeled Tea Time TOGS Tower. As they flutter closer, a pranky elf jumps out of nowhere, hands them tiny baskets, and giggles mischievously. You must collect special items, says the pranky elf, but be quick, or the gossipy cats will tell angry ZEUS, and he'll ruin the tea. Sounds intricate, comments the chatty quantum professor, yet unfazed. Everything here is vibrantly unconventional, but if we maintain focus, we accomplish our goal. Sashaying into Tea Time TOGS Tower, they marvel at the bewildering array of clothing tailored for tea time excellence. Crossdresser strawman swiftly selects a glitter-infused gown, whereas topiary clown opts for a leaf-themed tuxedo. Finicky panda, adjusting his bamboo top hat, picks out a pair of white silk gloves made from bamboo. Meanwhile, the outlandish hat shop offers a plethora of eccentric headgear. Whiny rhymy tumbleweed grabs a windswept top hat that fits snugly over his prickly form. Exiting the tower, they move toward an antique shelf of perfumes that exudes an aura of timeless elegance. The chatty quantum professor carefully selects a bottle labeled Essence of Mystique. Perfume added, he remarks. We still need to secure tablecloths. Nearby, an aerial closet holds tablecloths swaying like banners from celestial ships. Topiary clown swiftly grabs one adorned in intricate floral patterns. Glorious choice, mumbles Finicky Panda as they proceed to the ice cream trolley. An array of flavors, from lavender honey to cosmic berry, await them. One scoop of dazzling delight, Topiary clown gestures at the choices, dripping with enthusiasm. A stack of candy from the kiosk, CROSSDRESSER STRAWMAN announces, his gaze fixed on a large jar of glistening rock candies. The spinning tray of smoothies catches whiny RHYMY Tumbleweed's attention again. His voice rhymes involuntarily, pick a smoothie for delight, make the tea party just all right. It's incredible what we are collecting here, marvels the chatty quantum professor. Shall we find the mini library of tea times? Sure enough, they glide towards a quaint establishment that resembles a dollhouse yet brims with volumes ranging from proper scone etiquette to elaborate eclair enigmas. The selection makes their minds flutter. We need a book on teas, declares Finicky Panda, selecting one titled The Epicurean's Guide to Exceptional Tea Times. Just as they assemble the final items, they notice a stalking storm cloud inching closer. Thunder rumbles ominously. The storm cloud seems irate, warns whiny RHYMY Tumbleweed in his sing-song voice. Quick! To the gazebo! Commands Topiary Clown. They rush to the dessert gazebo where a trickster stands, holding the keys to a tea chest. Ah, you have all you need, the trickster grins, handing over the keys. Use them wisely. With no time to spare, they set up the tea, arranging their exotic finds on the pristine tablecloth in the beautiful gazebo. The aroma of freshly brewed tea mingles with the scent of the surrounding desserts, candies, and ice cream. They sit, sipping their uniquely brewed teas, savoring the taste of their journey. The storm cloud dissipates and the colors of limbo continue to swirl around them. I believe the tea tastes of both magic and adventure, rustles whiny RHYMY Tumbleweed. And so, in the dreamscape of limbo, under vibrant skies, they share their fanciful afternoon tea.